Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here, and today, guys, we are with the new Bretonnia DLC, and we're going to be facing off against Bretonnia, of course. So I'm actually trying to tune up my Vampires game, because again, a lot of people are saying the Vampire counts are somewhat weak against Bretonnia, but I actually think they're good. Again, just my opinion. I might just get stomped out here, and maybe that'll change my opinion, but I think they're pretty decent. It's a really fun matchup. So if I don't get Bretonnia, it's often one of the ones I'll go to right away. But still, we're gonna get our frontliners, our spears to help out with the cav fight, dire pack here. Also, in case he does bring missiles, which, the fire missiles are actually a very good answer to the Claw of Nagash. So we're going to bring 2 direwolves to really just put a ton of pressure on his missile line. And even if he doesn't have any, we can still use them to chase down peasants and just get the scraps in that way. So let's see, what else do we need here? I feel like, what is my... Oh, it's missing the Cryptors, because Cryptors are actually really good at locking down the opponent's lords, doing all that kind of thing. So if Alberic comes in, or, one of those guys to try and shut down my Claw of Nagash, because that's only one of the only answers they have if they don't have, like, for example, a peasant bowman firing line. And, being able to envelop them with the Cryptors and really, punish them with poison, and then allow your Blood Knights and other units to wrap them up. And then you have El Sif and all of these things like that to slow them. Yeah, it works out pretty well. So I think Cryptors are now a good pick against Bretonnia, whereas before they weren't. Because also, Foot Squires are now a thing. So Cryptors are very good against Foot Squires because, again, Foot Squires really benefit from the Lore of Life, that, sustenance and keeping that model count up. But the Cryptors hit so hard, often they just chunk out models, so the Lore of Life isn't as effective against them, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's been kind of just my assessment so far. So an open field map, which is good, not a lot of terrain, so I'm going to know what my opponent's doing pretty quickly here. The only downside of that is he's going to know exactly what's going on with my build. He's going to know about the direwolves right away. So, again, he's going to have plenty of time to prepare for that amply. So we're going to get our spears on the flanks here just to deal with cav. So if he has a superior cav force, I just pull my Blood Knights back to my main line, just hang out and just kind of wait for the business. So, and use them defensively is essentially what I was trying to say. So, yeah, sorry guys, a little tired, long day at work. So we're going to get these guys here. We're just going to put one on both sides. We're just going to, again, even if they're not super useful, we're just going to force him to deal with them, just force him to worry about them. Again, it's just another, variable. It's like, any of you who've ever played traditional RTS is just harassing. Even if it doesn't work, it's forcing your opponent to kind of slip up in other areas. So, all right, let's get started. So it looks like he deploys over here. It looks like, man, our hounds are not happy. Look at that. They spawn right under those Royal Pegasus. So we're going to get those guys running. We're going to get these guys running around the back, and we're just going to start, pushing up here. So he's turning to face me, the Foot Squire Bob, and he does have peasant bowman. Noob YouTubers, what's going on? I think he's calling me a noob YouTuber. I don't know if he knew it was me. That'd be pretty funny if it was like someone I just faced before, and he's just having his way there. So these hounds are going to get caught, which is fine. We're going to get these ones around the back, hopefully be able to pressure some of those missiles and just kind of keep going here. So something I could do is actually ride my cav out to intercept, because I wouldn't mind like picking that fight at all. So if he wants to like commit to those hounds, and I can get like Red Duke and the boys out there and actually like wrap up a group of Pegasus Knights early, that would be huge. So we're going to pull them back here, trying to intercept. Kind of like in the Return of the King when Gandalf goes to the aid of those Gondor Knights. Yeah, but anyways, we're safe. That's good. And it looks like he's flying back, so we do have these hounds going around to pressure. And if he wants to like use the cav to deal with the hounds, I'm totally fine with that. That's actually a really, really good situation. So he might go and try and snipe out the Mortis engine, but basically the Cryptors are just there to deal with that. So we're actually going to do a little bit of a juke move there and run them back the other way. And I think we're good. Like, I don't know if he has like... Although he does have a lot of Foot Squires and really strong units in that respect. So we're just going to kind of push up here, just play very defensively, and you can see he's actually going after the hounds. So we're just going to keep pathing them to the back of the map, and hopefully he'll like forget about them and just keep chasing. So these guys, we're just going to run them straight back. And this is time when they're not like posturing up to deal with my guys. You can see they're just running. My opponent's kind of like, half catching them. So we're just going to turn and go this way. So let's get them, keep going here, try and put a juke move on those guys. And he's actually firing at some of these Graveguard, which is fine. We're going to get these guys going here and just keep our spears over there. Cryptors and the Mortis engine, we're going to move them up as well, like so, and get these guys going as well. So right now we're able to get the juke moves over there. We're going to bring those guys here. Just keep pressuring my opponent the best we can. So we're going to start taking some fire. My opponent doing a very, very good job of, applying that missile pressure. And it looks like he's going to actually charge in with some of these guys. So let's actually pull our skeleton spears. And it looks like he pulls back at the last second, realizing that that's a pretty risky gambit there. So we're going to get the Red Duke right here and just kind of summon some zombies in the back line. We do get some hounds there, guys, which is really good. So definitely getting some good engagements there. The Cryptors here, we're actually going to use the Cryptors on the Foot Squires, just push them up and keep that Mortis engine going. And the Red Duke and company, we're just going to chill, and just wait and see if he wants to engage. Because with zombies, I think we can buy enough time for our front line. And you can see the hound's doing a very, very good job of just pressuring there. So we're just going to be really conservative. We're going to go ahead and summon some zombies right here, just wherever we can reach, essentially. So let's go ahead and use this, and we get a nice little summon there, which is great. So we're going to collapse in the back of those Foot Squires there. Let's go ahead and use this ability as well as the leadership and just kind of see what he's going to do, because In the attrition game, I think we just are just going to straight up win this. So we're going to pull the Claw of Nagash. Just keep being patient, because he's trying to bait us into conflict, because anyone would, it's pretty easy to get a hard on with like Red Duke and all these Blood Knights, and he's also maybe waiting for me to slip up. So right now we're going to pull these Skeleton Spears. We're going to turn and run them here, and you can see he doesn't want to come in here, which is good. This is exactly what we want. We're just running rampant back here. We're destroying his back line, and he's suffering pretty heavy army losses as it pertains to his infantry. So we probably can use an Invocation of Nehek right here. That's going to be pretty good. We have a lot of beat up troops. So we're just going to use these spears to kind of screen and just keep fighting. And, just keep doing our thing. So he uses a Comet there. It doesn't do much, especially since we had an Invocation of Nehek draining. So we're just going to kind of finish off all these squires here. And eventually he's going to have to engage. He can dance around as much as he wants. He does have the Fey Enchantress too. So yeah, it looks like he's flying over right now. So we might just pull back and around and actually just go after the Fey Enchantress. This is really good, guys. So we can actually get her right here, I think. So we're going to use Elsif to lock her down. We're going to push these Cryptors up. And this is what I'm talking about. Just make it difficult for people to engage on you. Like, if they have superior numbers, you just like form a kind of a little Tetsudo formation and just be really obnoxious. So you can see some of these questing knights got a little impatient. We want to keep this going. And now he's definitely going to engage. So we're going to go ahead and just get ready to summon some zombies on top of these guys, which is going to be strong. And we do have the Dire Pack in here fighting. The Fey Enchantress is definitely not designed for this type of war. So let's go ahead and use a big Invocation of Nehek here, and she is just put in a can, boys. So again, just patience pays off. Patience definitely pays off. So we're just going to keep summoning zombies around his ranks. The zombie summoning did get nerfed, but it's still quite good. It has, a longer cooldown, so it's a little bit more balanced. I still think it's very, very strong. I think it's a worthy mechanic for sure. So he's going to come in here. We're going to go ahead and summon some zombies, although he does ride past me a little bit. I wish I could have canceled that, but still it is behind some of his Pegasus Knights. So just keep that drain going. We're going to run our Mortis Engine away from the missiles, because it's taking some pretty serious Peasant Bowman fire. So we're actually going to summon some more zombies right here and actually march them back there. So the Fey Enchantress is routed, and I think this attrition game is not going to pay off for my opponent. So let's move those guys over there, and it looks like he does have some peasants over here, so let's go ahead and use one of our last zombie summons over there. Use this nice leadership buff to keep everyone healthy. Then the rest of the Winds of Magic we're actually going to save for the Invocation of Nehek. So he actually does have some foot squires there to help defend. But a lot of zombies bogging down this very powerful unit, so he tried to bait us into conflict, trying to snipe this Mortis Engine, just kind of keeping it far away and just making it difficult for him to get to. Because it's still draining, it's still healing. And when the Fey Enchantress got surrounded with Elsif and those other abilities, he really came in with a pretty big hard on to try and catch them. But these Foot Squires doing a very good job. The balance of power just slowly starting to go in my favor, which is great. So we're gonna try and get the Dire Pack out of here and try and see if we can snipe that Fey Enchantress. So let's see if we can get her. That would be huge. The Dire Pack again does have that anti-large bonus, so we're gonna go ahead and use a nice juicy Invocation of Nehek right here, which will keep this Mortis Engine fighting. And you can see a lot of his troops are steady. These questing knights are starting to get worn down, but still, he's putting up a great fight for sure. So we're gonna summon one more group of zombies here just to kind of block those troops down. You can see the zombies actually chasing off those peasant bows, which is great. So far so good, guys, man. Very, very fun game so far. So Royal Pegasus Knights down here just kind of getting bogged down, and a lot of his troops are starting to break at this point. I don't know where his Grail Reliquary is. I'm pretty sure he has one, but the Mortis Engine, we just need to be really cautious with it and not let it get sniped out. So we're just going to kind of keep going here, and yeah, he still does have a little bit of a surround on us, guys, which is a little bit tricky. So let's go ahead and path these guys through. We're not able to get the Dire Pack out. So unfortunately, we are taking some Comets to the dome. Pretty cool stuff. Our Cryptors are beat up. The binding's still good, believe it or not. And the Pegasus Knights are starting to go down finally. So let's go ahead and use this Armor Piercing on these guys. And I would like to get these Blood Knights out because we don't want them like fighting, awkwardly in the trenches where it's like AP infantry. And the Mortis Engine is actually going down. A lot of my guys are beat up, but I think I have too many Graveguard for him to handle. So let's actually push these guys out here and see what we can do. The zombies continuing to rout those bad boys off. And just having some fun. So fighting the good fight, boys. And it looks like, oh man, this is not good. We gotta go secret agent with that thing. So we were able to collapse here. So let's actually just push through right now. All of his units are pretty much routing at this point. I think he's gonna suffer army losses. So well played to my opponent. Very well played. It was a really fun game. And it's just a testament, guys. If you're outnumbered cav-wise, and that's why the spears are so good, because you guys saw I forced the atrocious engagement. I waited for him to, make his play. And obviously most people with superior cav forces are going to try and bait you into such engagements. And if you just ignore it and just sit by your spears and play that attrition game, it can pay off pretty well for you. So as far as my troops go, Graveguard performed well in the front line. Obviously the Foot Squires are extremely strong. But with the Mortis Engine, I was able to sustain with him. That was a really, really big factor there. And of course the Red Duke being able to help out with zombies, getting them in the rear. Still, his front line did very well. Where he had trouble this game was firstly, the Dire Pack was able to get into, or these Dire Wolves were able to outmaneuver and get in the back line and do really, really well there. Secondly, his Cav didn't really find a home. The reason they have so many kills is because of the zombies. It's not because they really did good. It was just awkward, and when they finally were forced to engage, it was like in a big blob with a Mortis Engine and zombies and just all this stuff that isn't ideal. So, you know, again, it was definitely tricky, tricky situation, but regardless, very well played to my opponent. So what is his name? Noob YouTubers, what's going on? Not much, just being a noob, you know, doing my thing. So well played, man. Look forward to seeing you again on ladder, and I hope you guys enjoy that BattleCast. Have an excellent night, and take care.